What's up, Central Illinois business owners? We know that insurance and employee benefits are one of the most expensive, confusing, and frustrating hurdles that you face in your business today. Garrett and I work with Central Illinois businesses to create insurance and risk management programs and employee benefit solutions that reduce risk, enhance your business, and maximize your profitability. Head to CIBLinsurance.com to learn more about insurance solutions that are specifically designed for your Central Illinois businesses and to watch our educational videos about work comp, employee health insurance, commercial insurance, and other insurance products to help your business go to the next level. Go to CIBLinsurance.com. We'll see you there.
Welcome to the Central Illinois Business Leaders Podcast, where business owners, thought leaders, and community champions from across Central Illinois come to share their story. The Central Illinois Business Leaders Podcast. Anything less would be uncivilized.
What's up, Central Illinois? I'm Derek Hayden. I'm here with Garrett Ulmer. We are your hosts for the Central Illinois Business Leaders Podcast, powered by Zambu. Zambu is a delicious grapefruit oral wildberry vodka-based spirit infused with a Brazilian buzz button. It's smooth, tasty, and leaves you with a signature tingle. Learn more at ZambuLiquors.com. Zambu, taste the tingle. All right, Central Illinois, today's guest is a strategic account representative at TechGuard Security, based out of Springfield, Illinois, or at least he's headquartered in Springfield, Illinois. He's also, we found, an Ole Miss grad and enjoyed Oxford quite a bit. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please welcome Nicholas Koch. How are you doing, Nicholas?
Doing good. Thanks for having me, guys. Happy to be here.
Yeah, we appreciate you jumping on here with us.
Yeah, glad to have you, man. So we talked a little bit about kind of what you're doing, your profession, before we hit the record button, and we know it's a very important topic that small business owners and any business owner, business leader needs to understand in today's world. But before we get too deep with it, Nick, I'm going to kick it to Garrett, and we're going to take you through our speed round questions.
All right, Nicholas, are you ready?
Hit me.
All right. Let's tell us about the first concert that you ever attended.
First concert, I saw Ted Nugent.
I feel like that's our second Ted Nugent.
Yeah, I think it is.
Nice. I was in seventh grade. Yeah, sixth or seventh grade. My dad took me. Went to down to where was the pageant in St. Louis. That was
awesome.
Was quite the first concert.
Yeah,
that's awesome. A
good dad right there, man. Way to go.
Yes. A little side note. I tried so hard to get our football team in high school to run out to Stranglehold by Ted.
Okay.
No one wanted to do it. No one wanted to do it.
All right. Back on track here. Favorite movie?
Favorite movie, I'd probably have to say Miracle on Ice.
Yeah, great. Yeah, that the speech in that to get him going there. Oh man, that's still. If you need to get pumped up, just watch that. That'll get you going.
Yeah, that'll be ready to run through a brick wall.
Absolutely. Favorite ice cream flavor?
Like to keep it basic, I would say, and say strawberry.
Okay.
Strawberry. Yeah, probably.
We'll stick with strawberry. Final answer.
Yep. Final answer.
Okay. iPhone or Android?
iPhone all day.
Gotcha. Favorite social media platform?
I think LinkedIn is good. I think sometimes it can turn to Facebook and get a bit much sometimes, but I would say either, I guess, LinkedIn or probably not a popular answer, Twitter, or I guess X, whatever we call it now.
Yeah. Yeah. Who knows what to call it, right?
Yeah.
Last but not least, why Central Illinois?
Central Illinois is home. It's the people. I like the people, just the proximity to everything. I think the kind of the tourism slogan right now is Illinois is in the middle of everything. It really is. So I like it. Family's here, friends are here, so it just makes too much sense.
So Nick, I do have a quick question. You mentioned that LinkedIn is one of, maybe your favorite social media platform. So you and I connect on LinkedIn, not to put you on the spot, but how did you find me or the podcast through LinkedIn?
Yeah. So Michael Thomas, former guest.
Perfect.
Up here in Springfield. So yeah, he's kind of been a big help, kind of getting me kind of, born and raised in Springfield. Obviously it's a lot different when you're born and raised growing up here, and then you leave for college and everything like that. And then you move back as a young professional. It's kind of hard to get back into that game, if you will. And Michael Thomas has been a great resource for that. So
awesome.
Gotcha.
Perfect. I was wondering, I knew we have a lot of people from Springfield on the show, and it was about that time that we released Michael's episode that you reached out. So awesome. Well, we're pumped to have you.
Yep.
Right now, Nick, if you could take us back as far as you want, bring us up to speed with where you're at today, and you can share anything in between that you'd like to. Go ahead and tell us your story, and you can take the mic.
All righty. You might regret that. No, I'm kidding.
Good. That's what we like to hear.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No, yeah. So I graduated high school, went down to, like you said earlier, went to Ole Miss, graduated there with a degree in criminal justice and a minor in professional writing. Following that, after graduation, I had a longtime girlfriend, now wife. She was a year younger than me at a school in Memphis. So she had one more year, and I wasn't ready to get locked into a big boy job. So I decided to go and work in Alaska for a summer.
Okay.
So I worked up there from May to about September. Came back, substitute taught in Chatham School District. And then that spring, we found out she was going to dental school down in Alton, Illinois for the SIU, School of Dental Medicine. So started applying, for jobs down in that area. Ended up getting on actually as a contractor doing federal background investigations. So I covered about a 90-mile radius around St. Louis, drove a whole bunch, got to talk to a lot of people, everybody from, the high-ranking military officials to the just kid right out of high school going into the military. So it's really kind of helped me expand my ability to be able to talk, I think, to pretty well anybody. There. Following that, got kind of coincidentally, a little foreshadowing in January of 2020, we got laid off for foreseeable financial difficulties. We all know what happens in March of 2020, unfortunately. So from there, kind of was just looking for a job. Found a job as a foster care case manager down in Alton. That I was just not cut out for it. I don't have it just was weighing on me too much. Those social workers we need them, and it's not me.
Tough jobs.
I couldn't deal with it, truthfully. So started kind of looking around, knew I wanted to get back kind of in not law enforcement, obviously, but trying to keep the bad guys at bay, if you will, there. And so, kind of talked to some friends from school, found TechGuard Security here in O'Fallon, and the rest is kind of history from there.
Nice. Awesome. Well, before I ask you about TechGuard, I have a little connection here. You're the second person that we've had on the podcast that has a connection to the Alton Dental School.
Uh-oh.
So are you familiar with Billy Bob Teeth?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So,
Jonah White, right?
Yeah. So Jonah White's partner that helped him, he partnered with to create Billy Bob Teeth. The first set of Billy Bob Teeth were made in the Alton Dental School, if I remember right, Garrett. Is that correct?
I'm pretty sure you're right. That now that you say that, it sounds pretty familiar. That I want to say it was like a project that they were working on, and the first molding came from doing that. Yeah.
I feel like he was going to school, and Rich Bailey was the guy's name that he partnered with, and he was kind of joking around, just made these scraggly teeth. And then Jonah saw him. He's like, that's our business. He's like, we're making these and selling them. So yeah, a little side note about the Alton Dental School. So sorry,
some notable alumni.
Yeah, exactly. I keep getting off track here. So anyway, Nick, tell us about TechGuard Security. Tell us about what the company's about, what you do. Just give us kind of rundown of what that looks like.
Yeah. So we're TechGuard Security. We're, like you said earlier, we're based out of O'Fallon. That's our headquarters. We got our start in 2000, which, being around for 23 years as a business, I think is a good thing, obviously, is noteworthy, but then let alone being in our industry of cybersecurity and the tech. That's pretty ancient in terms of of a cyber company. A lot of companies you see are, 4 or 5 years old, things like that. But we are we're woman owned. I think that's a cool aspect about TechGuard. But we got our start on the government side of things, and then 2017 or so spun off our commercial side of things. So then we focus on proactive and preventative services. So a lot of like compliance driven. A lot of our services will, at this point in time, there's no real way to lower your insurance premium, but this will maybe help. Our services help kind of keep those costs down as much as we can in this current market. Obviously, that's a bit hard to do with the insurance premiums, but that's kind of
awesome.
Sure.
So are you? Garrett, do it.
Nope. I was just going to say. So tell us a little bit more about the size of businesses that you tend to work with, and speaking about the services, what are some things that a business owner? Obviously, cyber is a huge topic. Derek and I work with a lot of small to medium sized business owners ourselves with what we do. What are the discussions that you're kind of having, and what size of businesses are you really making a connection with right now?
Yeah. So we really work with businesses of all sizes through some different strategic partnerships that we have. We've got clients all over the world, clients varying from 2 or 3 people all the way up to to 25, 30,000 employees. So those are 2 totally opposite ends of the spectrum.
Yeah.
And it really comes down, I would say, the main difference really is just resource and time and resources is really the biggest battle there. For small businesses, especially, it's having people on staff, like just having the ability to either staff somebody to handle your IT and cyber that's a big role to fill there. But then also the time to be able to monitor and make sure everything's kind of going as it should.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, what we see is with especially small businesses, they think, oh, that won't happen to me. I don't have anything that the hackers want. None of them want my stuff. Then all of a sudden something happens and their small business goes under, or they're adversely affected and lose a lot of money, or their system, is breached and they can't access their system. They're down for business for a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks. So is that something that you see commonly in your position where businesses just say, oh, it won't happen to me? And then what do you do? Do you have any stats or anything to kind of back up what's happening in the cyber world right now?
Yeah. That's I think one of the most commonly said phrases by anybody that's never been hacked. It really is. The reason everybody thinks, I'm just a mom and pop shop, 15, 20 employees, maybe, why would a hacker go after me? Well, you've got personally identifiable information. You've got money. That's right.
Yeah.
Hopefully you have money if you're a business there, but then also cyber criminals they're lazy. They want the low hanging fruit. They know that the mom and pop shop up the road is, they might have outdated, servers, or, there might be more vulnerabilities there just because they don't have the time and resources to fix it compared to, the big corporate chain next door. They can go and get in pretty easily there. So that's unfortunately what we see a lot. But truthfully, a lot of it, it's like 91% of cyber attacks start with phishing emails.
Yeah.
And so that's something that, a lot of the small businesses we work with, we hear, well, what are we supposed to do for cybersecurity? There's only 10 of us. What are we supposed to do? Cybersecurity awareness training is a great place to start. It's easy. It's just a lot. Our training specifically is, we do a lot of like micro learning. So it's focused like 3 to 5 minute clips, makes it really easy to send out on a monthly basis. And basically just keep cybersecurity kind of at the front of your employees' minds, versus just some Nigerian king that's gonna die and needs to send you $30 million, and he chose Derek Hayden and Sheldon.
I'm still waiting on that 30K, by the way.
Yeah.
All I got was a cyber hack instead. Still haven't seen that check in the mail.
Well, I don't think it's, I don't know what we want to pick on Derek. You've never clicked on one of the phishing emails before, have you, Derek?
Our training emails?
Yeah.
Several, yes. Yes.
Now, I make fun of him because I've done it as well. So it's like,
Yeah,
But,
it's crazy. Our agency also does some of the training you mentioned, and
Yeah.
they'll do like test phishing emails so we'll do the training and then they'll test you on it, but they aren't going to tell you when they're going to test you.
no.
And the one that's got me twice is, and now I'm never clicking on a single email that says Facebook on it again. But I got an email as a test email, and I'm sure that there's actual, bad actors out there that use this, but it said, one of the pictures you recently posted, it goes against Facebook guidelines. Click here to see what the picture is. I'm like, what the? I was like, all I posted was like a professional picture. So like it like touches a nerve with you, like you're upset. So it's like an urgent call to action. Some of those red flags that you talked about, employee training. That's probably most employees are the culprit of clicking on the stuff. Yeah, someone that was malicious sent it to you, but if you didn't click it, nothing's going to happen in most cases. But so I clicked on it, and all of a sudden you get the skull and crossbones that pops up on, you've been hacked, you failed the test. And I'm like, are you kidding me? So yeah,
if we
it
click
can happen
on
to anybody.
we have to go take extra training. So
yeah, I had to take like 30 minutes of additional training that day.
we've all been on the end of it. So.
Yeah.
I had a client one time ask if we had the ability to set up an electrical cord that would, whenever somebody clicks on the phishing email, would just zap them just real quick.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we don't.
Yeah. Nice.
So yeah, employee awareness. That's one thing. Like you mentioned, I think you said 91% of hacks start with phishing emails. First off, for those who are listening that may be wondering what a phishing email is, would you be able to explain that? And then talk about like some more of that training that small businesses can do to make sure that they're staying as safe as possible.
Yeah, definitely. So a phishing email is spelled PH. Unfortunately, not like the phishing we're thinking about. But yeah, so phishing is just it's a false attempts to impersonate somebody to get information from you. So I mean, commonly we see spoofing businesses. So they'll change in the spelling, instead of a O, they'll use a 0, or an I and an L switch out. There's various different tactics, but essentially they're trying to get you, to either click a link, give them information, and then from there they can compromise your system. But the phishing training, like you were just explaining, Derek, the phishing simulations, I think are a great way. All of the the training platforms now have gotten really creative, really can replicate real world phishing emails. And truthfully, a lot of the good platforms, that's kind of what they pride themselves on, is being current, because you don't it's everybody thinks or used to think the phishing is the, like I said earlier, the Nigerian prince or some off the wall phishing romance type scam thing. But now they're really very, very good and accurate looking templates. So it's important, I think, for that training, just to get the awareness out there to your employees, to let them know, hey, this isn't, this is a real deal
Sure.
there, and to be aware. And it is going to happen to us if it's not already.
Yeah, for sure.
It's really part of the battle. It's,
and we're hearing some stories, and I've had it happen as well, to where we've seen like bad actors on the phone. They call in, and for instance, they're trying to imply that they've spoke with the owner of the business. He's extremely busy, or she. We know this. Can you go ahead and just give us this so we can access something on the computer? We've heard some bad stories in those instances as well.
Yeah, that was whenever it's, so to kind of elaborate on that. So the voice is called phishing, with a V, and then the
okay.
So the texting, I'm sure you get random text messages.
Yeah.
That's called smishing.
Okay.
SMS.
Yep. I think we had training on that, smishing. I remember that.
Yeah. So that's a
smishing in the office.
Yeah. But yeah, like you were saying, with people getting hit, one of the common ones too is the gift cards, where it's, hey, your CEO needs you to go to the store and get $500, Visa gift cards and send me the codes for them.
Yeah.
So we actually had somebody that as an intern received that phishing email, went and bought the gift cards, but did not have the money in their account. So actually got the money from their parents to buy the gift cards, and then took them into the CEO's office and was like, here's your gift cards. And the CEO was like,
what's going on?
Yeah.
Whole big ordeal turns into, it was just a phishing test.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. That is crazy. You hear of, so if I'm correct, that's right now the terminology is social engineering for that type, where they're acting like someone that they're acting like someone who they are actually not, to get access to the business's information, your information. And like you said, it's not just over email anymore. It's texting, voice. I have heard a story, Nick, maybe you can back me up. This was an in-person social engineering case, and there was somebody who was acting as the fire marshal, and they came into the business and implanted some information, got on the computer, and they were able to hack it that way. And it was someone who was there acting like they were the fire marshal. I couldn't tell you who the fire marshal is. Who, if someone walked in and had a name tag and said, I hope I'm not giving anybody ideas out there listening to this of how to scam people out of money. But anyway, they had a name tag, said state fire marshal, Billy Smith. Hey, I need to check this and this, and I'll be on my way. They got into the computer, got some information, and got, that business got hacked because they let that person in. They thought it was someone who they were supposed to let in and check the building and do this type of stuff. Have you heard of any of those, Nick?
Yeah. So that's a serious attack vector. That would fall that kind of toes a line with physical security. But then, just your ability, and that's one of the services we offer at TechGuard is a physical security assessment. So we'll go in and try to impersonate. I can't give away our secrets, but
sure.
Just think about in your office how many just different companies you have that come and clean the rugs, or that supply the toilet paper, and all the shredding companies, everybody that's in and out of an office. Chances are you don't know those people or know their name, or so when they show up with a badge and you don't question it. So that's a big that is a very serious risk there. And then, like you were saying, with impersonating social media is a huge. You can really, create fake accounts, and people call it, there's kind of the joke like the burner accounts, but you could really do some damage though if you were to create an account, impersonate somebody, and put some
look at the special that just came out. What was the name of the Notre Dame linebacker that got
Manti
Te'o? That's
social engineering to the T. Like that's
that is crazy. Sure. So one thing I see, I'm just looking at TechGuard's website, which is techguard.com. And one of the items under services is the one that I'm looking at is vulnerability assessment. And I know a lot of businesses maybe like, for a business, they may be wondering, do I really need these services? Is this something that is really going to happen to me? I feel like that's something that they could do to really see what the issues could be. Tell us a little bit about how those assessments are ran.
Yeah. So I always
don't give away your secret sauce, but if you
I always try to explain cybersecurity in the most just straightforward terms that anybody can explain, because truthfully, there's times where I'm reading articles and stuff, and it's like, I'm having to ping guys on our technical security team, like, hey, what does this mean? Just because it gets very technical very quickly. So a vulnerability scan, what we would describe, what verbiage or how we describe it is, think of like a burglar scoping out a house. A vulnerability scan is going to go around and check to make sure, windows are locked, there's no doors propped open, no doors are unlocked, make sure the, garage door is closed. We're going to go take a look at your network, whether it's an internal, external scan, take a look and see what we can find and say, hey, this is, without us actually breaking in, this is what we think, or, this is what we found, this is what you need to fix to close those doors, to lock that door. And then we have a service. I mean, it's called penetration testing, and that takes it a step further. That's actually going to, the vulnerability scan is just checking to see if those windows and doors are open or unlocked, but the pen test is actually going to go in and see, how far we can get. We're going to try to get to the safe, if you will.
Sure.
There. So vulnerability scanning is a great place to start, to check your network. And as with cybersecurity, anything in tech, stuff's constantly changing. So it all depends on what your industry, the best, what your industry says is the standard there. But generally, quarterly vulnerability scanning is recommended. So just.
So you're from the Springfield area, and we've got businesses that listen kind of all throughout Central Illinois and kind of all over the place. What type of radius do you cover to work with clients? How do you reach out to clients, or how can clients reach out to you?
Yeah. So like I mentioned earlier, that through that strategic partnership, I've got clients that are, actually here in town. I've got in Springfield. I've got clients that are Malaysia, Singapore, all over Europe. I mean, really all over the world. There, really word of mouth is big. I think that goes a long way. And then also just, kind of word of mouth referral, same thing. Goes, we hear a lot. Our proof is in the pudding. That's especially with services, with a service oriented or service driven business like ours. I think it's especially being in the proactive and preventative suite of things. It's definitely the word of mouth and the referrals. Hey, I used TechGuard for this and had a good experience. They got me taken care of. That really goes the best way.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, before we recorded, we talked a little bit. Obviously, Garrett and I are in the insurance industry, and small business cyber liability is one of those things that we've jumped into and see how crazy it's been. But I know that TechGuard also has some insurance information, some insurance resources. Tell us a little bit about what you're seeing on the insurance side of things, and just share your story on that side.
Yeah. So just kind of what we're seeing, and just from our experience of just being in the market, in the industry, talking to clients and partnerships we have, rates are going up. That's just listening to the CIBL podcast you just released before this one. It doesn't sound like it's just in cyber. It's all insurance. It's going up, and cyber especially is only going to continue to go up. Just the attacks are going up. They're becoming more common. It used to be more of a, if it happens, now it's more of a when. When it happens. So it's really kind of scary. I don't know if scary is the right word, but just something
that is scary.
It is. Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. And we're starting to see, a lot of organizations start to self-insure there, that's kind of where I think we kind of find that sweet spot, is our services can either help kind of keep your premiums where they're at by being able to show, hey, we're training our employees, we're doing the vulnerability scanning, we're following industry, the best practice there. I think that really goes a long way with that. But then also, if you are going to self-insure, those services are great ways to make sure that you are keeping you and your business safe. So
yeah, absolutely.
It's kind of like we talked about before we jumped on here. Derek and I truly believe this is one of the biggest threats to businesses today. As far as that goes, there's a lot of risks when it comes to owning a business, but by far, if you're not having a discussion or strategy when it comes to your cyber protection, you should be.
Yeah. What I tell business owners that I talk to is, just for example, if your building burned down today and you didn't have insurance for it, it would stink. It wouldn't be fun, but you could likely go find a loan somewhere that someone might loan you the money to rebuild that building. If you had a catastrophic cyber breach, you're not going to find many people that are going to loan you money to defend or get rid of that breach and take care of all the stuff that happens after the fact.
Yep.
So the likelihood of a fire versus a cyber breach taking you out of business, the cyber attack is going to be the one that puts you under more than any other risk out there, in my opinion.
Well, to be honest, I mean, if you think about it from those statistics, you're more likely to get cyber breached than you are to have the fire on your business today.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
So that's really funny you bring that up. I literally had that written down in my notes here. That's one of I was talking about how we use the most straightforward terms. One of the exercises or one of the services we offer is an incident response planning and exercise.
Mm-hmm.
So for that, we always use, think back to your elementary school fire drill. Everybody's got their, painted 12 by 12 square out in the parking lot. You line up single file, you walk out, and you go there. That's our incident response exercise. Is going to be a cyber incident that's catered specifically to you, to your organization, industry, to your structure. We'll create those different scenarios, put you through this exercise, and then work with you on, identifying who's responsible for notifying law enforcement, who's responsible for notifying insurance if insurance is involved, who's trying to handle the network, who's really kind of identify all of that in there. And that's been really kind of eye-opening how many organizations either don't have an incident response plan, or if they have one, it hasn't been updated for 5 years, and 3 of the 5 people on the plan no longer work there. So it's a good thing to at least check your policy. I would say at least annually check it, make sure everybody has an understanding of what's going on. And then I think doing an actual exercise every other year is a good recommendation.
That's excellent. One of the things that Garrett and I do on the insurance side is sometimes we'll help review like employee handbooks, that type of stuff. And we'll get businesses that hand us like a 3-page document from 1986. Like, well, this is the one we've got on file, but we've not really, it's not been updated since 30 years ago, 40 years ago. So that's a good tip, Nick, because business owners, especially small business owners that don't have a department specifically designed for risk management or safety or IT awareness or cybersecurity, it's usually the business owner or one of the higher up business leaders who wears all those hats. And a lot of times they don't even know how to do it. They're just hired and kind of moved into that position, and they are always reacting to issues. So having someone like a TechGuard there to help you implement that is a huge perk of working with someone like TechGuard. You'll take care of it. That's something they can cross off their plate. They don't have to try to act like they know what they're doing. Have a professional in there that can handle it. And, they're the ones that are able to help you stay on top of it. So Nick, I think that's an awesome thing to provide to business owners for sure.
Yeah. Thank you. That's, too often we find, especially with the small businesses, it's the person handling the IT is the person who's the best at the computer.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah. It's a big difference between being good at computers and being able to work and, handle an IT and cyber for a company. So
yeah, no doubt. Well, Nick, we are actually getting close to the 30-minute mark. Before we jump off of here, are there any last ideas, comments, anything you want to share with Central Illinois before we jump off of here?
Yeah. I mean, really, if you're a small business, now yesterday was the time to get on board with cybersecurity. So, be happy to help. We're a resource in the community. We want to protect our own backyard. We want, small businesses are truly the backbone of our economy. So trying to get Central Illinois. Let's lock down Central Illinois and let's prevent some cyber attacks.
I like it.
Nice.
You need to make a t-shirt. That's,
lock it down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
Lock it down.
That's the slogan. Awesome. Well, how can people get a hold of you, Nick, if they have questions?
Yeah. So you can reach me via email, just my name, nicholas.koch at techguardsecurity.com, or 618-979-4980, or shoot me a message on LinkedIn, connect on LinkedIn. That's the best way to get a hold of me.
Perfect. Sounds good. Well, before we get off here, all you people watching on video, you can see my brand new CIBL Podcast hat. If you're listening on podcast, you can check out the hats and all the other merch that we've got at CIBLmerch.com. I'm going to give a shout out to our most recent sponsor, which is Jedco Sales. So Jedco made an online store for us. And basically what they do is they make the store. They'll put your logo on whatever apparel or fun stuff. We've got coffee mugs, hats, polos, sweatshirts, t-shirts. Maybe that's about it, but you can add basically whatever you want with your own logo. So check out our store. And if you like it, Jedco can build your own store for your business. They can put your logo on hats, shirts, polos, t-shirts, whatever you want. And a lot of their clients have employee stores. So they'll give their employees credits each quarter or each year. Employees can buy, like Nick's got a TechGuard shirt on. I've got a Shelbyville Insurance shirt on, if you guys can see that. But you can, Garrett's got a Shelbyville Ram shirt. You can have a team store, a business store, whatever you have that you want to make a store for. Jedco can build it for you, and they can handle the fulfillment and shipping and everything, and you don't have to worry about it. You just tell them what you want and it's handled. So anyway, they've got a special for all CIBL listeners. Just mention, if you reach out to them, mention Garrett and I's name, and they'll give you the CIBL discount. You can contact them at sales@jedcosales.com. All right. Well, until next time, y'all have officially been civilized. Thanks for coming on the show, Nick.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys. Have a good weekend.
Yeah, you do the same.
Take care.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Central Illinois Business Leaders Podcast. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/CIBL Podcast. You can also follow us on LinkedIn. Don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review. It's the civilized thing to do.
What's up, Central Illinois business owners? We know that insurance and employee benefits are one of the most expensive, confusing, and frustrating hurdles that you face in your business today. Garrett and I work with Central Illinois businesses to create insurance and risk management programs and employee benefit solutions that reduce risk, enhance your business, and maximize your profitability. Head to CIBLinsurance.com to learn more about insurance solutions that are specifically designed for your Central Illinois businesses, and to watch our educational videos about work comp, employee health insurance, commercial insurance, and other insurance products to help your business go to the next level. Go to CIBLinsurance.com. We'll see you there.